have the brake booster removed, and FYI, the junction block, and I'm looking at the setup. So this one, the front brake lines, even if I block it off in the rear for the rear brakes, because of the type of proportion valve I have, it's not going to work the way I want it set it up, because this port right here goes to the rear. That port right there is for the rear brakes. That's the rear brakes output. Right here is from the master cylinder to the proportion valve. That's for the rear brakes. So because of the proportion valve, it has front and rear. So the rear port, or the small chamber in the back of the master cylinder, that goes to this right here. The front one goes there, and that's for the front brakes. And this right here is for the front right, and this is for front left. You know what? These right here, it probably doesn't matter, because they both go into the front brakes, so you can go left or right here, and left or right here. So those are for the front brake calipers. This is control the front brake caliper from the master cylinder. This control the rear brakes drums from the master cylinder, and this goes straight to the drums. So even if I wanted to use that block, I would have to block one of these ports off. So I think I might just go ahead and I don't know, I'm thinking about it, but either or, I'm gonna have to use separate brake lines for the front without using a junction. Now, if I decide to use that junction block, then I'm going to have to block one of these off, and then just tap into that, and just let the junction block control both front brakes. So that's that. So I would use this part as a reference point. Get like 6 3/8 from center. Just gonna use this mounting hole for a reference, and then I'm gonna go there. So like 6 3/8 center. If you could reuse that clevis, then yeah, that'd be perfect. So that way I could reuse this clevis, put on this brake booster. Because this brake booster, they come with a new clevis, but use that as a reference point, because this right here is mounted to the firewall. So the firewall is never going to change. The firewall is going to be there, it's going to stay the same, it's never going to change unless you change it. So that's why I say use that hole right there as a reference point. And then with my clevis, I want to get 6 3/8. So that's what I'm gonna do. So anyway, I reused I just used the new clevis. So I got my inch and 6 inches and 3/8 center. It looked kind of off on the camera because it's actually leaning, but I lift this up and move. But free without touching this board, yes, the measurement is consistent with this one. So I got my measurement, and now I'm ready to install this brake booster right back.